Hold
Wanna-
on. Not yet. Going away. There's a difference.
That was speaking of beers. It is 7 o'clock on August 10th, or sorry, on September, I'll get the date right, September 28th, 2023. This is the Kaysville Planning Commission, and welcome. And I will take a motion for approval of the minutes, if anybody has any comments on them, for the August 10th, 2023 Planning Commission meeting. Has anybody had time to read those? Any comments before I entertain a motion?
Move for approval.
Let's just do it unanimous, or a single vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Motion passes. Move forward, we have a conditional use permit for a major B home occupation for total home construction and remodel located at 605 East Whisper Drive. I will turn time over to staff.
All right. That's me. Thank you for coming. This is conditional use permit for a major B home occupation for total home construction and remodel. It's located at 605 East Whisper Creek Drive. This is for Todd Johnson, and he's the owner. He's a new business owner here in Kaysville. As you can see from here, he lives, it's like tucked in right over there behind Whisper Cove. He's at the bottom of that street. It's a great little neighborhood. If it's on public record now. If anything comes for sale, he's gonna call me.
I know the house. I see it all the time when I go on that trail down there.
It's a great little neighborhood. So he lives at the bottom of that street, which now has a connector road that goes through that will wraps behind Whisper Cove. But as you can see, it's in an R18 area. This is the home, and you can see that there's plenty of driving or parking there for 3-car garage plus an RV pad on the side. Mr. Johnson will not have any employees or customers coming to the home. The only equipment that will be there will be his truck. It's his personal truck that he's driving anyway. All supplies will be dropped off at locations, so there will not be anything coming to the home. He does have his current Doppel license with the state of Utah, which is for a B1 general contractor. We do have some findings for this. Let's see, and our findings that was proposed is consistent with our major home occupation regulations, such as his trailer, which will be stored on property and not in the road. The applicant knows about the major home occupation regulations. The application has been reviewed by staff, and this business is compliant with city zoning, Department of Commerce, and public licensing. And it will not have any adverse effects on the use, enjoyment, or valuation of the property. And if there's any other findings that the Planning Commission would like to make, we are recommending approval for total home construction and remodel with any conditions that Planning Commission feel are necessary. And Mr. Johnson is here to answer any questions that you might have regarding this conditional use permit.
Thank you. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions for the applicant?
It looks pretty straightforward.
It does to me also. And it looks like the findings are in line with code.
Was there any comments or things? I assume it was posted.
That's a good question. We have not received, actually we had one phone call that came in. I think it was a next door neighbor just wanting to know what the sign was about. Thought that you were going to be doing remodeling on your home, and once we explained to him that it was for your business, everything was just fine. But yeah, good question.
Okay, so no real objections or, okay.
Is there
Anybody here to comment on it, or?
We don't take comments. So, okay. If we don't have any questions from the applicant, I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve a conditional use permit for a major B home occupation, total home construction at 605 East Whisper Creek Drive for Todd Johnson.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. And we'll start the voting.
Aye.
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 And that's approved. Okay. Thank you.
See, I will send you a letter tomorrow via email, and then I'll put one in the mail as well regarding your conditional use permit, and then I'll finish your approval, and you'll get an email with your certificate for your business license. So I'll send that all to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. So next up, call the public. If there's anybody here who wants to address the planning commission, you're welcome to come up.
Well, you're here, you might as well say so.
Okay, then we'll close call the public. Anything else, staff, that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, just two things. Thank you for those of you who have been able to take time to attend the APA conference. I know Steve was there today, Aaron was there, Wolf is there. So, yeah. So good to be able to have the time to have people go. I did submit this week a letter of intent for a small area plan for our city center areas. Keep your fingers crossed that we can get funding for that. If it does come through, that'll be, I think, a fun project to work on, and you guys will be quite involved in that. And if we don't get funded, we'll ask again next year.
Pull from the RDA.
Yeah, you can do that.
So just as a side, I went to the funding workshop today, and the woman who taught that from the state went through every website through the state and pulled in all the grant and funding opportunities to one website on the State Office of Public Budget and Finance. So now you can go in there and find all of the opportunities for funding.
Filter and sort it.
And it's sorted, you can actually go through and sort it. So if we don't get funded, let's go find the funding somewhere else.
Yeah, I agree. That was the best part of that session was the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I thought so also.
That's all I have. Let's see. Oh, well, I'll mention one other thing. We did that MCW subdivision on 200 North last year, I think it was, earlier this year, where the Mr. Car Wash is going in, and those two parcels that are on the west end of that property, we've received a little mixed-use application, so 10,000 square feet of office, 2 stories, and 3 townhomes. I got the draft development agreement over to them this week, so I'd anticipate that will be maybe not on our next agenda, but that first agenda in November. So it's a good little project, and I'm sure we'll have a lot of public comment from neighbors over there, but I think it's a nice little project. Gave them some good suggestions on how to improve it, and so.
Do they need to get the overlay?
Yes, yeah, it's zone general commercial, so they just need a mixed-use overlay. Yeah. That's it, unless there's any questions.
Anything coming up on the calendar?
There is that Urban Land Institute training in October. I think I emailed that out earlier this week, or it might have been last week. Okay, yeah, so that's another opportunity. I know it's hard for some of you to leave your.
Utah Land Use Institute?
Oh, yeah, sorry, Utah
There is
Land
a
Use
ULI
Institute.
one.
Okay, yeah, but that's the
That's
Utah
the
Land Use
Friends
Institute, yeah. Is it a day and a half down in Sandy? Yeah, so I know it's hard for you all to take time away from your real professional job, but that's another opportunity. So if there's interest, let us know.
Okay. If that's all, I take a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
So moved. Wow.